Hello and welcome. If you're watching this right now, it means you're on YouTube because I don't have any viewers yet. Just started. So I'm probably gonna stream twice today. Right now for a bit, and then later tonight in my normal time. I just had the day off, so wanted to do some work, and I realized I was thinking about it and starting to graph some stuff out, and I'm like, I should just stream. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to make a score curve that will hopefully be competitive and interesting and have some trade-offs. So right now I have the function that's on the screen is this score algorithm for the gems. So we have f1 is equal to 10 times g squared, where g is the number of gems. And then I've got my graph set up to show it goes from, well, let's just go to 100 and 100,000. So 100,000 is how many points you get if you get all 100 gems. And that's all that the score is right now. It's just collecting gems, but we're gonna have a time aspect to it. So, so we have the time aspect, which I'm gonna work on coding later tonight, but I wanted to kind of graph this thing out. So we've already measured how long it takes to go from start to finish as quickly as I can. That took about 65 seconds. So I'm gonna set f2 equal to 65. Okay, and that's gonna make a line, and it's gonna be so far down here that we can't even see it probably. Yeah, because this is 10,000. So that means that this is 2,000, and so 65 is like all the way at the bottom. Okay. And then we have something like, let's just take a guess at how much longer it's going to take to collect all 100 gems. Let's say it takes an extra 3 minutes to collect all 100 gems. So we'll say f3 is going to be equal to 180 seconds. Okay, still can't see those, but those are constants, and we'll use them in the next one. So then f4 is going to be our equation for the basically the amount of time it takes to collect different gems. So it's a base of f2, and that's the minimum it's going to take, but it then also takes f3 times, let's see, it's 180 seconds to collect 100 out of 100 gems. So it's something like times x divided by 100. So you can just barely see that purple curve down at the bottom here. And now we need to say, okay, so this is the amount of time it takes to collect different amounts of gems. So that's what the x-axis here. The x-axis is how many gems we're collecting, and then the y-axis is our points. And they're not at the same scale, so it goes from 0 to 100 gems, and then from 0 points to 100,000 points. And let's say that if you can get it done, let's say that if you can get it done in 1 minute, then you get, let's just say 50,000 points. Okay. And then for well, okay. let's do this differently. Let's say if you get it done in 0 seconds, you get 100,000 points. Okay. Now you're gonna lose 100 points every second. Okay. So that gives us this kind of curve. So if you collect 0 gems, then you get 94,000 points from the time. And then we'll have our final one. F6 is going to be equal to F1 plus F5. Oops. And now we're going to have to rescale this because we can get up to quite a lot. Let's scale this up to 200,000. Okay. Cool. Now, we don't really care about seeing any of these equations except for the final one, and because we're still tweaking F5, this black curve, we'll leave that up here. Okay. So this isn't quite steep enough yet because you can see the best way to get the most points is still just to get as many gems as you can. Right? But I wanna tune this so that the max of this red curve is somewhere around 33, about a third of the gems. So, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for here. I think we'll need to be able to see this one to see what we're manipulating here. So this upper red curve is basically this lower red curve plus this black curve, and that's what's going on right now. And so in order to get 33 to be the high point, we need to have the time curve drop off quite a bit. So I'm thinking that we start losing points as we take more and more time. So what if we make this squared? Okay. So I don't think that the curve we currently have for the gems is conducive to getting what I'm wanting. I think we need that one to be probably a logarithm. No, not a logarithm. It would have to be a... I can think of the shape, I can't think of the function that makes that shape. It's like a shape that goes up and then flattens out as it gets higher. Oh, is it square root? Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we're getting something interesting. So the high point here is 20. It's like if you collect 20 gems, you want it to be a bit higher, so let's try maybe 15,000. Now the high point is 32. That's pretty close to what I want. So if you collect 0 gems, you get 0 points, and if you collect 1 gem, you get 15,000. If you collect 4 gems, you get 30,000. If you collect 9 gems, you get 45,000. Okay. That's pretty good, I like that. So here, if you get 0 gems, you get, I don't know, 87,000 points. But if you go and get 33 gems, then you can get 142,000 points. But as you collect more gems, it becomes less of a trade-off. And suddenly being fast is now more important. The only part that's not accurate of this curve is this 180 here. So as this number changes, we'll have to... Well, I wonder if there's a relationship here that we can calculate. So the max x is 33 when this is the relationship, but is that... Trying to get a good understanding of what the relationship is here. No, divided by. maybe something like that. So if we find that the time it takes is actually something like only 2 minutes, so 120, then we want it to be 33 times 2 times 120 plus 65. 12,210. And that should give us a max approximate that. Oh, no. The relationship's not quite. I'll just have to do this by hand. Okay, so now I think the thing to do would be to go and run the course and try to collect all the gems and see how long that takes. Should be a lot easier if we had the timer set up to go. It doesn't need to score any points yet, but I'd like it to show on the screen so that way it can start and stop. When when the game starts and then when I reach the end, that'd be cool. So, I don't know if this is because I have a dual monitor set up, and for some reason my vertical monitor is set as screen number 1. So, I don't know if that's why these start crossed out, but whenever I start the game and then close out of it, it fixes up the UI and there's no longer those X's. I don't know. Okay. Well, here's the game timer script. Let's get that open. Okay. And then so I'm just gonna kind of do this in a hacky way for now. I want to be able to get the timer, so I'm gonna make a new tag called timer, and then we'll assign that to the time UI text mesh pro. Okay. Now let's zoom back in on the map and go over to the end. So there's this door here. There's a victory zone here. And it has a victory zone script on it. So let's get this victory zone script open. So I'm gonna do a private void. Ooh, that's an event. I might be able to register with that. That might be better. I'm gonna close some of these other files I've got open for now. So we have this event that is a player entered victory zone. I don't know how these simulation events work, so I'm gonna go with the easy way, which is just doing private void stop timer, and then this will we'll call it from here. And this will be like a find by type. Find game objects with tag. Okay, we'll do that. And now I'm doing the find a list now, so I'm gonna do if objs dot length is exactly equal to 1, and we'll do stuff, otherwise we will throw new, I'll just throw an exception, and I'll give it a message like more than one timer found. Okay, but if there's only one, then we can proceed. We can then get the game timer object, set this equal to objs, get the first one, dot get component game timer. Okay, and now we'll do if timer does not equal null, then we can interact with it. We do timer dot stop timer. Okay. So that should stop the timer now. And we want the timer to start when we press any button other than the escape button. So let's go to the player. The player has a player controller script. Let's get that script open. I don't want to mess with this right now, finding the best place to hook into this function. So I'm just going to have the timer start on awake. So I'm going to comment that out. And then I'm just going to call start timer. Okay, looking good so far, no console errors. Let's see if the timer starts counting. Ah, it does. Cool. Okay, for now, let's just run to the end and make sure that the timer stops. Oh. Need better enemy collision detection. And wall detection, apparently. No. Alright, hold on a minute. Alright, me being lazy here. Okay, yeah, that stops the timer. Cool. Now let's try it for real. And I want to make sure I know where all of the gems are. So there's a gem here. There's all of these gems, these hidden gems, these hidden gems. Gems, 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 gems. These gems, these ones, these ones, these ones, all these ones. Okay. It would be really handy if I could just make this gem count hook up to the counter script. Also, we formatted the game timer UI to have the up to hundredths of a second, but because we did the notify observer frequency at exactly 1 second, it doesn't have that. So I'm gonna change this to something like 469. So that way the numbers will be different, but it doesn't have to update like every 10th of a second. And even if we did every 10th of a second, it would only show down to the 10th of a second. it wouldn't be any interesting numbers. So if we do this one, hopefully the time will, I don't know, look a little bit cooler. No. There must be something else going on with the formatting. Okay. Yeah, I see what's going on. We're truncating it because we're casting this to an int here. So I think that there's one that takes in milliseconds. Yeah, this one here. So we have days, hours, minutes, and seconds. I'm going to put in 0 for all of these, including seconds. And you'll see why. So I'm going to do int. And I'm going to do timer dot get current time. So that's in seconds, and then I'm going to multiply it by 1,000 because that's a float. So if we do that, that should be cool. The only problem is I really strongly dislike that this is jittering like this. I mean, it might be nice if we had a pattern to it and it was like thumping like a heartbeat to give you some sort of sense of urgency, but right now the font size keeps changing and it's really annoying. I think we should just pick one. Just pick it to be 40. And don't let it auto size. I also think it's updating a bit too fast. I'm gonna go back to the slightly less than half a second. Alright, let's save that scene, and now again, I'm gonna do a kind of cheaty way here. So this gem's collected. We already have a gem counter, gameplay scoring gem counter here, and then it's created in the main scorer. So our gem counter is here, and we would like to set up a new observer with the gem counter. We would like to get the gems collected UI element. So I'm going to make a new tag here. I'll call this gem count UI. And then we're going to do what we did before. So game object, list of them. I'm actually going to copy this stuff. Okay, so now from the gem counter, we want to get the I'm going to make a new script here that's called gem count UI. Gem count UI is going to have a public reference to the text mesh pro UGUI. Okay. And we'll set that in the editor. And then we'll have a function on here that's public void update gem count int count. I want to have a base string here, base text equals gems collected. So now we get the text mesh, do set text, do base text plus count dot toString. And now back in the main scorer, we're going to get the gem count UI from there. Like this. we want this to be an I observer, which means we're going to have to implement the observer interface. Doesn't need to be a mono behavior, but it does need to have a public. Gem count UI. Gem counter. This, and then I think we need to have a reference back to this. Let's not do that. Let's do private gem counter. Okay. Not a huge fan of the way I did this, but whatever. So we find the gem counter, and then we register we find the gem count UI. We register that UI as an observer of the gem counter, give it a reference to the gem counter, and then the gem count UI gets notified like this. Oops. Gem count UI is missing the class attribute extension of native class. Extension of native class. Seems like I shouldn't just make it a mono behavior to get rid of this issue. Okay. Missing the class attribute extension of native class. Unity extension of native class. Okay, cool. Looks like the gem count is working now, so I'm gonna see how long it takes me to collect all 100. I think there was a gem down in this corner. There's like not a way to get back up there. Okay. many did I miss up there? Alright, well the time I was taking just now is probably the same amount it would have taken me to get those. Okay. So that took 3 minutes 20 seconds versus the 65 seconds before. $181. It's like almost 21 seconds, so I can get the audio. So 181 seconds minus the 65 seconds it took before. Took an extra 116. Let's go ahead and throw that back into here. And then now tune this so that the max is 33. Do 9,500. That's 38. Let's try 9,200. It's 37. Okay. I don't think I want to water this down anymore because it's like not that steep right now. What if this is like 2.5 instead of 3? What if there's just 2? I think that's making the problem worse. Steeper the higher this number is. Yeah. Okay, I think we're almost there. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. I don't know if we actually figured out what that issue was with the extension of native class. I think I just made it a mono behavior and that did away with it. It's probably not the right way to go about doing this. Actually, I'm not quite sure if I think that 33 is the right number to shoot for. My thought on this is I want it to be like 50% more than whatever the shortest path is. So you know, there's like a certain number that you get that's basically the shortest path. So there's 1 here, 5 here, another 5 here. It's 11 so far. That gets us to 15, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 34, 37, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 59, 62, so what I'm seeing here is there's just not many that aren't on the main path. Should probably change that up. I could like make some more platforms up here and put some up here. I could put some platforms in this area here. Put some in this area. Okay. I think this is probably a good place to stop. Been going for an hour now. See, I have 1 viewer right now. If you're the 1 viewer, you mind saying hi? You mind putting something in the chat? Alright. It's okay if you're shy. Okay. I'm gonna stop now and gonna get back on later this evening and gonna finish up putting together the scores between the time and the gems and get it sort of balanced. Might add in some more gems around the place, which means I'll have to tweak my function that I've got over here, but that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, this gem thing is interesting. Extension of native class. Associated script cannot be loaded. Please fix any compile errors and assign a valid script. Okay, I think the deal is basically I need a constructor here, like a base constructor, perhaps. Maybe you can't have it in the inspector if it's not amount of behavior. That's also possible. That's just something I don't know. I think making it amount of behavior solves the issue. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you for watching. And if you're watching the stream live, you can check back in tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to start at 6 like I planned, or if I'm going to start a little bit later at 7, so I'll definitely be on at 7 though. Anyways, have a nice day. Drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow, yada yada. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.